Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Reverend Sonia.
Welcome to the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living in Kingston, Jamaica, for all of us who are here in the sanctuary. And guess what? Everyone who is joining us on the World Wide Web. Welcome, welcome. It's wonderful to be here. It's sunny, it's cool, it's just great. It's lovely to be in Jamaica at this time celebrating and allowing people to come in. We won't wait, but we invite those who are just walking in to come in, take your seats, and know that you are loved, you are blessed, and we're happy to have you here. So let us begin, as all things begin in this place, with reminding ourselves of the power that resides within us, around us, and in all. There is one power, one presence, one reality, one infinite knowingness, one. And that one is forever expressing itself through its creation. We here, individually, collectively as this congregation this morning, collectively as the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living, collectively as all people everywhere, all seekers after truth, everyone and everything is that one. And it is that one which projects itself into being through our service. As we surrender ourselves, we let go and feel the sweetness of God's presence. Feel the joy and the privilege of being that through which God speaks, God sings, God thinks, God feels. God is. And we know that it is in that consciousness that we collectively contribute to a service that is rich with the attributes of God. Love vibrates in this place. Peace transcends all thought. This service is a blessing to everyone. It unfolds easily, effortlessly, peacefully, joyfully, lovingly, and with great fulfillment. This is a truth. I give thanks, I release it, and let it be so. And so it is. So it is. So it is. Now our chant is on page 2. I'm so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. So we take these beautiful words into the silence and we savor it. I am so blessed. Thank you, God, for all the blessings we receive. Thank you. And so it is. And this morning, our inspirational reading, God is all. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is, which was, and which is to come, the Almighty. All the power there is, all the presence there is, all the love there is, and the only God there is omnipresent. There is a universal life and energy that finds an outlet in and through all that is energized and through everything that lives. We are surrounded by an intelligent force and substance from which all things come. There's a presence in the universe which knows, a law which acts, and a creation which corresponds. This is the divine principle. God does not acquire qualities. God is the essence. The quality is merely the way it manifests itself. The nature of God is creative and constructive, but God is not absorbed in his creation. I am the Lord, thy God. I change not. Whatever is in God, and nothing can exist or be conceived without God. God himself is one, single, one only. He is the creator, the source of every soul. God is the life principle. He is the speech and the mind. He is the truth. He is immortal. Lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am, which is God. And this was taken from our Science of Mind hymnal, one of our many responsive readings. And I think it's so timely and so beautiful, and I am sure it will connect very, very clearly with our message this morning, which we are anticipating. So now we're going to light the candle on behalf of the...
Affirmation of divine love.
Oh, yes. Oh, how could we? Affirmation of divine love, and we're going to say it. And I'm going to invite us to say it first, and then I'm going to ask us to repeat it for ourselves and the world, inserting it where we say this for our church. Where we have church, first we say it for our church, then we say it for ourselves and the world. That's my adaptation. It's on page 2, and of course it's on it. You will see it on the internet as well. Affirmation of divine love. Divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for this church now. Divine love is now victorious, and so it is. And with me again. Divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes, divine love adjusts, divine love prospers, divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for me and the world now. Divine love is now victorious, and so it is. A beautiful affirmation to be embodied and maybe to repeat every day until it's a part of our nature. Wonderful. And now, we will light the candle on behalf of the children of the world, right? I light this candle on behalf of all the children of the world. And now together, we will bless them. We love you. We appreciate you. We salute the Christ in you. And we see you as shining lights onto your world. God is blessing you now. And so it is. And now we will sing the Temple of Light mission song. Temple of light, the temple of light, the temple of light. We are a people with a vision, Holy Spirit on a mission. To touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day. The temple of light, the temple of light, the temple of light. We are a people with a vision, Holy Spirit on a mission. To touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day. Oh, what a lovely, lovely, lovely song. And as we sing it, we just send blessings to our maestro Dexter, who composed that song. Wonderful. And we all sing it so well, don't we? Really, as if we really mean it. And we do. We do. So now, our announcements. Our flowers this morning was exquisitely arranged by Mrs. Judith Deere. And we want to thank her and all the floral angels who every week make us feel so wonderful. Judy, are you there? Thank you, Judy. Yeah. And we'd like to welcome anyone who is visiting with us for the first time, worshiping with us for the first time this morning. Is there anyone in the sanctuary here? If so, please stand. And if there's anyone on the World Wide Web, just indicate that you are here for the first time. Anyone? Well, we are all here together, and we have such a wonderful turnout. Isn't that great? So we welcome you all. We welcome everyone to our hearts and to this wonderful congregation we call the Temple of Light. And we know we behold the Christ in you all, right? Just for a moment, just cross your heart and say, I behold the Christ in me. I behold the Christ in me. Wonderful. Our wisdom circle, oh, it's really rich. It is worth staying behind. We are doing lessons from the source, and it's a brainchild of our maestro, our new maestro, right? And yes. And it's lessons from the source by Tom Johnson. You can stay. We read parts of it, and Angela takes us through the lesson, and we're just free to exchange and to interact. It's really a wonderful topping, icing on the cake after our service. Quiet moments in the garden. Reverend John Scott continues to be the early riser for the early risers on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 6 a.m. to give some insightful early morning inspiration to give your day a boost, a rev start. Remember to come Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays at 6 a.m. and it's available on recording later on for those who prefer to tune in later on. Quiet moments in the garden. Spiritual healing service is on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. and it will be on the Facebook and the Zoom platforms. This week, our presenter is Reverend John Scott. Please, if you are not on the mailing list and don't have the link, then you can call the office to be put on the mailing list or just go to our Facebook page. Labyrinth Walk continues. The Ministry of Peace meets this Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. The Ministry of Peace has managed to continue to do its walks throughout the corona, and it continues on Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m. You can walk the labyrinth anytime, but it is wonderful to walk it with a group. And so remember, Wednesday at 5:30, this Wednesday, the Ministry of Peace. Prayer Power continues at 6 p.m. It's a moment of free association, quietness, and just spontaneous prayer, music, sharings. It's a community of kindred spirits, and we invite you to join that community of kindred spirits. Classes, a new series of classes will be starting on Thursdays at 7, and these series, this Thursdays at 6, right? It starts 6 from 7 to 9, and it's on the Zoom platform, and the facilitators, Rev Sonia Davidson and practitioner Steve Golding. And the title is In Tune with the Infinite, and it is based on a book that has been written, a very popular book by Ralph Waldo Trine. And the book is available on PDF. You can get it, download it from the internet. And we would appreciate, the facilitators would appreciate if you would read up to page 15 before you come to the class, so you can be well prepared to share and to fully participate. Now, Reverend John Scott continues to do face-to-face classes, and the title, 10 Secrets for Success and Inner Peace, it continues on Thursdays from 11 to 2, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Oh, sometimes, you know, he's prompt for timing. But so his classes are so rich, you wish it could continue a little longer, right? So it's 10 Secrets for Success and Inner Peace, and it's face-to-face for those persons who can make it. And on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., Reverend John Scott presents The Pleasures and Perils of Public Speaking. This class provides participants with an opportunity to learn how to construct and deliver interesting, entertaining, and informative speeches, as well as to overcome the fear of speaking. A really, really useful skill for everyone to acquire. I don't know when you'll be called on to be a master of what do you call it? Master of something at a ceremony, right? At a service, when you have to say thank you at your own wedding or anywhere like that, you need that skill. So join it. Is it? I don't think it's too late, Reverend John. I'm not sure, but find out. Call the office. Remember that the contribution for all our classes, Jamaica $1,200 and US $10. for registered members, and for others, $1,600 or US $12. We are rich in classes, we are rich in contributions. Please participate. Now, Sunday school is going to be in full swing every Sunday. So, parents, bring out your young people. No excuses. Let them roll out of bed, go to bed early on Saturday nights, and be here. The growth that we see in our children who attend regularly, it is so rich. It's such a blessing. Please afford your children that blessing of coming to Sunday school regularly. And we have 2 new teachers, and they are all ready and geared to come. One of them gave the most wonderful talk on Thursday at 6, right? Last Thursday. Oh my gosh, what a privilege to have a teacher like that. Have them come out and be blessed by her. TK? Mm-hmm. What? TK Dawkins, yes. You know, sometimes she looks like she doesn't want us to shout her out, you know. But TK Dawkins, stand up, TK, so we can see you. Big you up. And, the queenly wave. And it's on recording. Do yourself a favor. If you weren't there, just go listen to it, right? It's on our temple. It was absolutely spectacular, wonderful. Now, the temple voices, we are inviting people to come out, and I hear we are inviting you to come and make a joyful noise unto the Lord. I'm not sure about the noise, but I am sure there are so many of you here who have wonderful, wonderful contributions in voice to give. And please see our musical director, Mrs. Angela Elliott, after the service if you want to participate. We're about to get ready for a Christmas event. And there are new parking arrangements as of tomorrow, Monday, October 3rd. Persons coming to the office or attending classes from Monday to Saturday are asked to park on the east side of the property. I guess that's the east side. Eh? Oh, east side, okay. That's the east side. So park there, and then you, which borders Unity? Yeah, it says so. And then enter the building through the book room. And that will be a wonderful opportunity for you to browse in the book room and buy some books as well. But there's a buzzer right at the book room. You use that and you enter there, okay? It makes sense because that's right at the front. Now, prayer support continues to be offered by our church. The practitioner is available immediately after the service. It's practitioner Courtney Johnson. And we also have a minister who is available from 8 a.m. to 12 midnight, also for you to, if at any time you wish to speak or have prayer support. And the number is the same for the practitioner today as it is for the minister, and it is 289-0907. 289-0907. We invite you to take this opportunity. And we continue to be blessed by the support that we get, our financial support from our congregants, and even those who have visited us even once and have felt so blessed. They continue to support us. We invite you to remember that we enjoy your support, and it helps to keep us going. And we thank you. We want you to go to our donate page. It's donate.templeoflightcsl.org. donate.templeoflightcsl.org. And of course, you can always drop in and hand in your money. Any way that you choose, we receive it and we are grateful. So this concludes our announcements. And kindly join us as we sing the praise song this morning called Doxology. Very famous. Please stand, please stand. prayer of our center. Prayer of our center. The Temple of Light, Center for Spiritual Living, is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community from which the Christ, peace, love, and joy emanate. To touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes into contact with it in any way. The light of the Christ illumines us, our center, and our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God expands our consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and the glory forever. And so it is. So we may just continue standing for our first hymn. And our first hymn is I Praise the Wealth of God. No. Creative and Sustaining Source. And it's on a flyer and it's also on the internet. Thank you, beautifully sung. Please have a seat. And now, have a seat, everyone. Yes, we are about to receive the blessing that we always receive in the encouragement of our beloved John the Beloved, our senior pastor. Savor this word, senior pastor, right? Savor it, our senior pastor. You know why, he knows why, I know why. And we just invite him to come to bless us with his encouragement and to receive our blessing and our love as we listen attentively and allow ourselves to internalize the blessing that he's sharing with us this morning. Welcome him for me now.
Me no know why. Wanna know why? Good morning, family. The why is at the center of our being. Our reason for being a community, for gathering in person or online. It's the reason that our hearts are connected by those cords of everlasting unity that hold us together as a spiritual community. And we embrace everyone who comes to share in the glory of the knowing that we are the beloved of the Almighty, the creative and sustaining source from whom all blessings flow. And before I forget, Reverend Sonia in the announcement said, quiet moments in the garden, come. It don't dare. Quiet moments in the garden are on Facebook, so please don't come to the temple, which has happened occasionally, but meet me in the garden online in the morning at 6. So we are truly thankful, but we're really blessed that we were spared a hard direct hit by, what him did name? Hurricane Ian. And our hearts go out, my friends, to all those cities to the north of us that were badly affected. I had intended my encouragement this morning to be on the subject of how we can access the abundance, the prosperity, the peace, and the well-being of our creative and sustaining source when we stop chasing our good in the outside world and go within to seek that presence and power that dwells at the very center of our beings. And then came the threat of the tropical storm and then the hurricane. And a friend of mine called from abroad to say that he had me in prayer. He had Jamaica in prayer. And you know, it's lovely, it's wonderful. Whenever anything is pending, Jamaicans, both here and in the diaspora, immediately go to prayer. We really are a praying people. And one can actually feel the energy of prayer if, you know, when souls get together and share in that. And then it was particularly wonderful this time because I have a wonderful friend, my very good friend Stephanie Kerrins, visiting from Ireland. Welcome, Stephanie, to our hearts. Lovely to have you. Give her a hand. And of course, her husband in Ireland just, you know, was a bit anxious because his beloved is here, and said to her, look here, if any breeze starts to blow, get the next plane out. So there was even more reason for me to pray. But you know, friends, I have to admit, every time we have one of those threats, you know, from the depression starts to form, wherever it starts to form, there's this rising angst among people, isn't there? And so I have to admit that as the Hurricane Ian approached, I began to feel buffeted by the mounting anxiety evidenced by people. I was in the supermarket and you can feel it is palpable, the anxiety as people start snatching up every crust of bread. And, you know, I was in the line and I could feel myself becoming really irritable and I guess ill at ease and distressed. And so I left. I was only picking up a couple of things and I put them down. And I left to go home, to go where none of that can touch you. Where is that? Within. And so I went home to do my evening meditation. And in that meditation came to me the realization that not only is there calm in the EYE, the eye of the storm, but that the I, capital I, at the center of every storm is also at peace. That I that our Rastafarian brothers and sisters call I and I is the essence of our being. It is who we are, created in the image and likeness of something that knows nothing of chaos and disorder. It knows only its own power, its own beauty, its own natural unfoldment. And so I just got this sense of deep calm and the deep knowing that all weather is God's weather, and therefore all is well. So my friends, I want us to talk this morning about the I at the center, the I that you are, the I that I am. Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of our great teaching, writes, and I quote, "At the center of my being is peace. That peace that is felt in the coolness of early evening after men have turned from their labor and the first star shines in the soft light of a translucent sky." Holmes was so poetic. He continues, "There is a freshness, a vitality, a power underlying this peace. It broods over the earth quietly, tenderly, as a mother watches over her sleeping baby. End of quote. What a lovely peace to have and to experience. And so, friends, let us allow that peace right now to hold us gently right where we are as we affirm together, at the center of my being, the I that I am is at peace. Together, at the center of my being, the I that I am is at peace. In a half voice. At the center of my being, the I that I am is at peace. In a whisper. At the center of my being, the I that I am is at peace. Now say it in your heart. So my friends, that peace, that sort of happiness generated when you go within is far different from the fleeting gratification that comes from the physical pleasures of the outer world. It is a lasting joy that transcends any apparent dangers and threats in the outer world of form, and it is untainted, untouched, and unaffected by external circumstances. To attain such happiness, you must first discover its nature, its source, and then be willing to accept it at its price. And believe you me, it does have a price, but it is a price well worth paying. The nature of happiness, my friends, is so simple that it is usually ignored. Its origin is so wonderful that it is rarely understood. The Greeks had a word for it, eudaimonia, which means having a good spirit. And Plato spoke of his demon or his inner guiding spirit. Another philosopher, Pascal, went a step further and defined the source of this good spirit thus, quote, happiness is not within us or without us. It is union of ourselves with God. Happiness is neither within us or outside of us. It is a union of ourselves with God. So I want to tell you a story about a king who yearned to know the true meaning of inner peace, to feel that stillness that comes when you know how to go within and access it. And so he offered a prize to the artist in the kingdom who could paint the best picture of peace. So he had this kind of competition in the kingdom. And many artists submitted entries. The king looked at all the pictures, but there were only two he really liked, and he had to choose between them. So he narrowed down the choice to two paintings. One picture was of a calm lake. The lake was a perfect mirror for peaceful, towering mountains all around it. Overhead was a blue sky dotted with fluffy white clouds, and all who saw this picture thought it was a perfect picture of peace. The other picture had mountains too, but these were rugged and bare. Above was an angry sky from which rain fell and lightning flashed in the distance. And down the side of the mountain roared a foaming waterfall. And so to the court, the king's court, this did not look peaceful at all. It looked like, foreboding, a threatening storm, the barometric pressure dropping and what have you. But when the king looked closely, he saw behind the waterfall a tiny bush growing in a crack in the rock. And in the bush, a mother bird had built her nest. And in that nest, of course, there were two chicks. So in the midst of the rush of angry water sat the mother bird with her two babies in her nest in perfect peace. So which picture do you think won the prize? The king chose the second picture, the one I just described. And you know why? He explained, peace does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. Peace means to be in the midst of all those things and still be calm in your heart. To be in the midst of apparent confusion and chaos and be the I, capital I, in the EYE of the storm. Peace means that in the midst of all that is happening around you, you can go within, like that little bird, and be still. But to gain this kind of happiness, my friends, you must know who you are. You must set a goal and work toward the self-fulfillment and the attainment of that goal to be at peace wherever you are. To thine own self be true. And when you are, you find that the essence of abiding happiness is within you. And you work at its development so that your higher nature comes forth in all circumstances, wherever you are and whatever is happening in the world around you. And this is why I love the study of this teaching known as the science of mind and spirit. The study of this science is the study of yourself. It is the study that leads you to self-mastery, to taking control and responsibility for yourself, and learning to rely on your higher self, the big S, the I, that is the I and I in the midst of the storm. And it takes you back, this teaching, and gives you practical steps so that you can take these steps as you seek conscious union with the source, the creative and sustaining source of your supply, of your good, of your health, of your happiness. Trust me, it is very, very, very important to do this work. Because you see, there are not only weather systems that threaten to inundate us. And you know, people say they are bracing for the storm. Notice the word brace. When you brace, what do? You tense up. And when you tense up, you get hurt, don't you? It becomes more painful. So this teaching teaches you to take control of your own thoughts, to choose how you want to feel and to work on that. And the attainment of this union with this indwelling presence and power that knows no chaos, no obstacles, no storms. The storms that may be financial. The storms may be emotional when you have broken up with someone or lost a loved one or something has gone wrong in the family. And it is as real as if you were expecting a hurricane, and you feel as buffeted sometimes, don't you? And as helpless perhaps too. And you're battened down. But my friends, when you go within to find the I, the capital I that you are, and to commune with that spirit that is within you, everything on the outside falls into place. And you are allowed to see it in the true perspective as you look through the eyes of God at the storms of life and can say to all the circumstances on the outside in the human world, the words used by the Master when he calmed the winds and the waves. What? Peace. Be still. So the first step in attaining this sense of equilibrium and equanimity is accepting God's existence as a fact. Knowing that God, and it's not a little man with a beard sitting down in the clouds writing down your mistakes, that the energy, that God is a law, a principle, and we personalize it. Jesus personalized this principle and this law and called it Father. Wow. I pray for the day when we can all honor the fathers as being the representative and the embodiment of caring and nurturing and protection and strength and goodness. So Jesus called that indwelling presence and power Father, and he was sure of its existence. So he could say, of myself I do nothing. Who? The Father within. He does the work. So this is a very important step. And when you find this balance and allow this presence within you just to enfold you. As Holmes says, in the cool of evening, like a mother brooding over a baby, just allow that peace to enfold you and hold you close. You can say, thank you, Father. Over to you. The second step is accepting the fact that you are just as vital a part of creation as all other parts of creation. And this awakens an awareness that your acts and thoughts either contribute to this delicate balance or detract from it. Someone said you cannot pick a flower without a star trembling. We are all connected. And so in addition to realizing God as the only presence and power in step one, step two is to know that you are a part of this godness, this goodness, this wholeness, this completeness, this amazing matrix of life. And that life would not be the same if you were not a part of it. Wow. Let's just say together, I am an important part of life. Together, I am an important part of life. And then, my friends, the third step is the hardest one for many of us. I'm looking around and I know many of our ladies that are really very powerful, self-sufficient, and, accomplishing spirits. This step is really hard for those people, and it's the step of surrender. To let go and allow the life that is God to have its way with you. And the reason it's hard for some people, not only the high-achieving ladies in our midst, but for all people, is that for us somehow we've been taught that surrendering is a sign of weakness, that it's giving in. But we need to commend our spirits into those hands, the hands of grace that held us from the moment we were born and that will sustain us all the days of our life and beyond into eternity. So we must surrender. As they say in this teaching, let go and let God, so that we can truly say, not my will, but thine be done. It doesn't mean that you're going to sit passively and do nothing, of course not. But you are going to allow that presence within to direct your footsteps upon the pathway. And once you take this step, everything in your life takes on a new meaning. Because you suddenly know that in surrendering, rather than giving over your power, it empowers you. It strengthens you because you do not walk alone. There's a power within you that knows just exactly when to move, when to hold, when to step back, when to push forward. And God will guide you to your rightful place in the amazing, miraculous, and divine scheme of life. I was traveling with our beloved founding minister, Dr. Elmer. I think we were Reverend Sonia, Reverend Michael Record, Reverend Ann Shand, and myself, and Reverend Errol Thomas at the time. We were in Monterey, and it was pouring with rain. And so we asked the front desk at the hotel to get us a cab. And they said, no, just step out onto the porte cochere, and the taxis are pulling up there every 2 or 3 minutes. And so said, so done. So as we stepped out, 2 taxis pulled up. There was one in the front and one behind him. And so I was guiding her by the elbow towards the front taxi, and she said, no, dear, let's take that one, the one behind. So I did, obedient disciple and jailer. So as I helped her and I sat beside her and told him where we wanted to go, I said, why, Reverend Elmer, why did you choose this one? She said, well, dear, the one on the front had a bumper sticker that said, God is my co-pilot, and I want a cab where God is the driver. She wasn't easy, So, if God is your co-pilot, my friends, you need to switch seats right here and now and choose God as the pilot this morning. You need to let go, to surrender, and simply say, over to you, God. Let's say that together. Over to you, God. So when you give over control, God opens avenues for expression of your innate talents, some of which you may not even know that you have. You may not even be aware of it. I've always tell the story of what I affectionately call the University of Tower Street, the prison here in Kingston, because I learn as much as I think I offer to them in terms of self-knowledge and self-growth. And there, I can tell you many, many people, and I think Reverend Michael Record and Reverend Ann Shand and practitioner Carol Charlton will agree with me, that in there, people come to the realization that they wouldn't have learned what they learned and discovered themselves and their purpose if they hadn't had that experience. So that there was some kind of plan, perhaps designed by themselves, subconsciously or unconsciously, that took them to that experience so that they could learn something or teach something. People said, I learned to read and write here, or I learned that I could play an instrument, or I could teach other people. And so wonderful things happen when we say, over to you, God. And of course, they have lots of time on their hands. And as Reverend Michael said to one class, he said, use this time to prepare. Don't say, when I get out, I am going to do so and so, do so. He said, start from now. That's one of the best lessons we've ever taught. Don't wait. And it's a lesson for us too, my friends. We say, when all of this chaos is over and I've gotten over the churn, I've gotten past the worst and I've left university or whatever it is. When the storm is over, I will begin to look after, number one. I will begin to pursue my dream and to fulfill my purpose. Don't. Start now. And the wonderful thing is that in your cooperation with God, it eliminates the need for you to compete with anyone else. You're not in any competition. There is no competition. There is enough to go round. Am I right or am I right? Absolutely. So you'll know that working with God, you are fulfilling that purpose. And, an acquaintance of mine was saying that he has a new business and that, but there's plenty of competition. And I reminded him, I said, there's no competition. There is enough for you. Just do what you do to the best that you know how. And the people that are right for you, the clients that are right for you, the customers that are right for you will be attracted to you because there's a law of attraction. Just make God your CEO, your pilot, your paymaster, and your guide. So my friends, that each of you should have a deep abiding peace and happiness has been God's desire from the very beginning of time, no matter what the storms of life are doing outside there. And you have the choice of happiness in God or unhappiness and frustration in a consciousness that is apart from God. God will need to heal that sense of separation. And however pleasurable you might find life seems to be apart from God, one day you will find that it is empty and you remain hungry and your heart remains devoid of that peace that comes from living at the center when the storms of life blow. So this brings me to your assignment. Take time this week to go inside and recognize God as all. Just like say, God is all. Unify with God by affirming your oneness with the one, and then declare, from the peaceful center of my being where God abides, I say to the storms of life, peace be still. Let me repeat that for you. From the peaceful center of my being where God abides, I say to the storms of life, peace be still. Can you say that with me? From the peaceful center of my being where God abides, I say to the storms of life, peace be still. And oh my God, my friends, I promise you, the wind and the waves will obey you. Namaste.
Thank you, Reverend John. As usual, he has enriched us and always given us something to chew on, to enrich our souls during the weeks to come and during our lives, the rest of our lives. From the peaceful center of my being, I say to the storms of life, Peace be still. I know each of you have grabbed a pearl or two or many. You can, it's so rich that it deserves being seen again. But I know the essence for me is the importance that Reverend John has stressed on the fact that we need all the power that we need to know that we are at peace has already been given. And therefore, it is the price we pay is the intention that we will give our attention to the presence, the indwelling presence, to know that it is neither here nor there, it is where we are and everywhere. And therefore, it is that which is able to bring us the peace continuously that we seek, desire, deserve, and which already resides at the center of our being. Thank you again, Reverend John. Thank you. Okay, and our musical item. Oh, birthday. And you know, Reverend John reminded me in the prayer room, birthdays. And I know all you birthday persons would never allow me to forget. So please stand if you have a birthday in this month of October. Wow, ooh, wonderful. Come on.
If you're at home, stand up to please.
Yes. Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear loved ones. Happy birthday to you. Blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. Happy birthday to you.
As that melody goes out into the universe like ripples in a pond into which we have dropped the stone of truth, we allow that blessing to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate everyone it touches. As we speak this word for those celebrating a birthday in October, I include myself. To know that from the center of our being to the circumference of our conscious awareness, we live, move, and manifest our lives in a victorious state of fulfillment, because the I at the center of the storms of life is the I created by God, the creative and sustaining source of every facet and relationship and aspect of our lives and our affairs. And God, beholding us with eyes of ineffable love, says, this is good. This is good and very good. And so the universe joins us in saying, happy birthday. God loves you, and so do I. Namaste. Hey, dear loved ones, happy birthday to you.
Okay, well, oh, it's that wonderful. Please come, be upstanding and come forward, Diandra. Ah, thank you. One of our own.
I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up till I lay my head, I will sing in the goodness of God. life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running out. It's running out for me. Your goodness is running out. It's running out for me. Your goodness is running out. It's running out for me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running out. It's running out for me. And all my life you have been faithful. All my life you have Cause all my life you have been
Wow. Let us give her another round of applause. It's just from the heart. Woo. And then exhale. Would you stand and say, in that consciousness of the goodness of God, sung from the heart of purity, the prayer of Jamaica? It's on a flyer in your program and on the screen as you join us online. The radiant light of God's love is now flowing through us and from us to everything and everyone it touches. The eternal light of God's love now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island, Jamaica. The glowing intensity of the light of God's love now interpenetrates and awakens within the hearts and minds of our countrymen and women the truths of life which set free. The light of God's love is growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness, and our oneness under God are now established. And so it is. And then would you remain standing and sing with me, I praise the wealth of God. I praise the wealth of God, His lavish good I sing. It flashes from the barren twig and shines in everything. I sing, I sing, I sing, my joy shall know no bound. His glory like a dazzling ray illuminates the ground. I sing the wealth of God, it stays not in the sword, nor dwells alone in sea and air. Its gold is everywhere. sing, I sing. My joy shall know no bound. His glory like a dazzling ray illuminates the ground. My daily tread, the roof above my head, the walls I touch with startled sight are shimmering with light. I sing, I sing, I sing, my joy shall know no bound. His glory like a dazzling ray illuminates the ground. Oh, blind and woe begone, the earth is now his throne. Give up your grief, your voice is raised, and praise, and praise, and praise. I sing, I sing, I sing, my joy shall know no bound. His glory like a dazzling ray illuminates the ground. Wow, you sound good. Would you take your loving gifts into your hands? And if you're at home and about to press the donate.templeoflightcsl.org button, just put your hands on your heart so you can bless the gift of your precious self to the world. As we say together lovingly,
I give,
joyfully I receive. Be thou fruitful, increase and multiply. Bless, prosper, and enrich everyone whom you touch, and replenish all of my financial affairs.
So be it.
So be it. Thank you, Father. And so it is. So, friends, right after we sing the peace song, please come forward and put your loving gifts in the receptacle at the front, under the lectern. So, we stay within. In the eye of life's storms, we are calm. We are a center of peace. We are the instruments of God's good upon the face of the earth. We praise the wealth of God that is the truth of our lives and our very beingness. For we are God's gift to life. We are the wealth and the abundance of God. And we live in this consciousness of the omnipresence, the omniscience, the omnipotence, and the omniactivity of that which knows no obstacles, and that which is unscathed and untouched by the storms of human existence. And we know that we too can say to the troubled waves of human experience, peace, be still. I say so. And so it must be. And so it is.
So it is. So it is.
And they're going to sing the peace song. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our power, family all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, yes, this is my joyous vow, my vow, to take each moment and live each moment And so tomorrow morning at 6, join me on Facebook Live for Quiet Moments in the Garden. And on Tuesday evening, our Spiritual Mind Healing Service, I will have the pleasure of being with you again. You weren't tired for semi-fair, so I hope not. And my topic for Tuesday evening is Wamek Spirit Tech or No Tech. So join me on Tuesday evening. And then again on Wednesday morning is me again. And on Thursday for class in the morning, and Thursday evening for class with Reverend Sonia and practitioner Steve Goulding. Oh goodness, there's so much happening. And please do come again on Sunday to praise that presence and power that sustains us all the days of our lives. God bless you. Have a wonderful week and stay within when the storms begin to blow. Namaste. Me